Hey guys, it's Jen, and today I wanted to share with you this wedding guest makeup look. I actually recently posted this on my Instagram and so many of you asked for a tutorial, and when I thought about it I was like, yeah, you know, there's actually so many factors to keep in mind with your makeup when you're going to be going to a wedding, from it being long wearing, you want it to be super photogenic in a lot of different kinds of environments, a lot of different lighting conditions, you're going to be having maybe dinner at the end of the night and dancing, and you still want your makeup to look super perfect that entire time. So I really hope there are a lot of little tips in this video that are going to be helpful for you. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much to Sephora for sponsoring this video. I absolutely love all of your beautiful, luxurious foundations and makeup, and we are going to be using them in this video. So if you want to check out this look, then keep watching and let's go ahead and hop right in. As always, I'm starting off my eyes using this eyeshadow primer. This is the Urban Decay Anti-Aging Primer Potion. This is going to help your eyeshadow last the entire evening, especially for special occasions. It's very important. Your eyeshadow is going to be more vibrant and keep any of your makeup from creasing. So after that, I'm also using a foundation primer. This is the Benefit POREfessional. It's so good at filling in any fine lines, wrinkles, pores. It also gives the foundation a really smooth canvas to stay on, and it'll look nicer for longer than just putting the foundation straight on your skin. Next, I'm moving on to foundation, and today I'm using the Givenchy Teint Couture Everwear, which I've got to say for me personally is the most important step in wedding guest makeup, because there are going to be a lot of different lighting situations. You know you're going to be photographed a lot. It could be going from the actual ceremony, which could be outside, to something indoors, to maybe dancing at the end of the day. So you want to go with something that is a little nicer. I especially like using some of my really high-end foundations for an occasion like going to a wedding, because I know it's going to give me just a beautiful satin finish and it lasts a long time. Plus a lot of them also have really nice ingredients in them which might be good for your skin. This one has SPF 20 in it, so if it is an outdoor wedding, you're already protected. So this is actually one that just launched recently at Sephora, and if you're interested in any of the products I'm talking about, as always, I have links for all of the products in the description box down below. So I like to focus this mainly on the center of my face and then blend outward, and that's going to give you more of a natural finish. And I'm also using a wet beauty blender sponge to do this, just for that airbrushed look. Next, I'm moving on to concealer, and I'm using Jouer's Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer. So I'm doing kind of like a triangle shape under the eyes with more of the point a little bit closer to your nose like this. I'm also going to go down the center of my nose with the line right here, dot at the tip. I'm blending this all the way out to my temple area. Next, I'm going to set that with a bit of powder. I'm using the Laura Mercier translucent powder right here. Especially for the under eye area, you're going to want to set this pretty quickly after you apply it, just to make sure it doesn't crease. Instead of like sweeping it, which can move around that makeup, you can just roll the bristles, and that'll keep all of that coverage in place. Next, I think this is maybe one of my favorite steps, is contouring. I'm using the Marc Jacobs Omega Bronzer. I'm gonna start over here by the ears, and I'm just gonna tap this so it makes a gradient of shadow right here to my lip. It's darkest here and goes lighter as it goes forward. And then I'm also going to bring this around my hairline. If you have ever had those cases where your foundation wasn't perfectly blended into your hair and you can see it in photos, it'll kind of blend all of that in and keep that from happening. Next, I want to move on to the eyes. I tend to not go for bright colors when I'm being a wedding guest, just because I don't want to take too much attention away from the bride or other people and things going on that are more important than me just being there to support someone else. So I'm gonna go with the Naked Reloaded palette from Urban Decay. This is Angel Fire right here. To give it a little extra pop, I'm gonna take my fingertip and just press the eyeshadow into the center ball part of my eyelid. Next, instead of using a traditional brown kind of blending shade, I've been really into using this warm melon color called Retro. It just adds a little bit of warmth without looking not neutral. I'm just sort of tapping this, almost like I'm making really tiny circles, and I'm following along that eye socket area. So if you push your brush in, you should be able to feel that hollow area beneath your brow bone. And again, it's going to have the most concentration of color at this outer third area, and then lighter as you go in. Next, I'm going in with a much darker color. I'm using this blackish brown. It's called Endgame. And just almost tap this in a angle, almost like it's a really heavy wing. Brush this toward the center, sort of make a little triangle right here. I'm gonna go back with that blending brush and the reddish shade that we used before, and I'm just going to blend those two colors together. I'm going to go in with that same brown color, and I'm just gonna smudge this into my lower lash line. You don't wanna bring it all the way in because we're not going for like a heavy goth kind of smoky eye, but I feel like when it's a little bit thicker at the ends, it makes your lashes just look that much thicker and fuller. Now I'm gonna take a teensy little brush. I'm going in again with that same shimmery shade, Angel Fire, and I'm just gonna add a little pop to the inner corner of my eyes. To finish off the eyeshadow, I'm using this light shade right here. We're going to put it right underneath the brow bone. That's just gonna open up the eyes a little bit, make you look a little more awake and bright. Now I'm moving on to eyeliner, and the most important part about the liner is to use something that is waterproof, because obviously if you're like me, you might end up tearing up a little bit, so I'm using this Benefit Roller Liner eyeliner that'll keep me through any tears during the ceremony. Next, I'm going to curl my lashes and add mascara, and once again, you're gonna want to find the most waterproof formula you own. I am using my tried and true Urban Decay Cannonball Mascara, and it's called Cannonball because you should be able to do a cannonball in like a pool and it won't come off your eyes. Oh, we're learning new things. Now, I don't normally do many coats on my lower lashes, but for these kinds of special occasions, I like doing at least 2 coats because I feel like fuller lower lashes really stands out in those photos from far away. Now, I'm going to put on some false eyelashes. As always, this is definitely up to your personal preference, but again, I like how the extra lashes look in photos from far away. Next, I'm moving on to brows, and I'm using this Hourglass Arch Brow Pencil, drawing a straight line toward where the top of my arch is, following that line down. I feel like that lower edge is the most important part. I'm also going to blend out the brow using the spoolie, but in the same direction as how I drew in the line earlier. Next, I'm gonna go back to the cheeks, and sometimes I like waiting on adding the blush till the end just because I want to balance it with the intensity of the eyeshadow of that day. So I'm gonna go in with this Jouer Bouquet d'Amour, and to go with my warm pinky eyes, I'm gonna go in with this more neutral pinky shade right here, and then I'm actually going to go a little bit further out from the front of my cheeks, just in this center part, and I'm gonna blend this both upward and toward the center of my face. I'm also going to go in with a bit of natural highlight. I'm using the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Highlighter in Mean Money Hustla Baby. This has 2 different sides, a more shimmery side and a more natural side. So I'm gonna go in with the more natural side first, right here. It's a little bit more of like a pearly finish, I would say. And I'm gonna add that to the tops of my cheeks, just because I want to look a little bit younger, but I also don't want to look like I'm trying way too hard because, again, this event is not about me, but you want to look pretty in all the photos. I'm adding this also to right above the brow bone. The light is naturally going to hit your face there as well. You can add it here above the lip, on your chin, anywhere you want to bring a little bit more light forward. You can do right here on your forehead. And then we're going to go in with the shiny side here, and I'm going to actually be pretty cautious in where I use this. I'm just going to add this a teensy bit to the tip of my nose, down the center of my nose. Again, we're going to be very careful in how we place this. We don't want it to be like so overpowering. If these pictures go on Facebook from somebody else's account 6 years down the line, you still want to look really classic and pretty. Last but not least, I'm going in with a lipstick. I'm going for a more natural, My Lips But Better, everyday kind of shade, and I like something a little bit more glossy because, again, it's going to translate really pretty in photos without looking like you're trying too hard or taking too much attention. So I'm using the YSL Volupte Tint in Balm. This is in shade number 1, which is a very nice natural pinky brown color. Such an easy color to wear, easy to just throw in your purse. It's gonna look good all the time. and it feels really comfortable. So this is the final look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful if you have a nice special little wedding to go to in the future. As I mentioned before, I will leave links in the description box down below. You can check out any of these things at Sephora. If you found this interesting or helpful, don't forget to hit thumbs up and subscribe to see more of my videos. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!